The Holyoke Soldiers Home has been locked down for months now, not allowing visitors inside since the deadly COVID-19 outbreak began in March. Welcome to Western Mass News at 6, everyone. On this Thursday, I'm Pisano. Now, in spite of the lockdown, the home is now grappling with cases of scabies, mites that burrow into skin and are transferred through close contact. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live in Holyoke with more. Audrey?
The scabies skin mites are not deadly like COVID-19. According to the State Department of Health website, scabies skin mites cause an itchy, rash-type lesion in the skin and are passed along via skin-to-skin contact or contact with infested bedding and laundry. Now, I spoke with one family member whose father lives on the unit where the scabies case was found. She told me she was shocked to find out that another transmissible condition had made its way into the home.
There was a veteran on his floor in his wing that had tested positive for scabies.
After 76 veterans at the Holyoke Soldiers Home died testing positive for COVID-19, this news was unwelcome to Cheryl Turgeon.
And I said, okay, here we go again.
Turgeon's father, Dennis Thresher, lives on Unit 2 West, where state health officials say a resident tested positive for scabies skin mites on July 10th. They also confirmed 2 other residents were found to have skin lesions and that all residents on that wing are being treated out of precaution, including Dennis.
He had been showered and he was doing fine. He wasn't showing any signs of it.
State officials confirmed there are 5 employees total with probable cases of scabies. They add that residents on another unit, 4 East, are also being treated after 2 were found to have rashes. The State Department of Health website lists a rash as a symptom of scabies, but officials with the Soldiers Home say the rashes found on the 4 East wing are not characteristic of scabies. Back in May, Western Mass News reported on past scabies problems within the home. A former employee says staff would still be floated from unit to unit during an infestation.
You could have someone on one unit that was positive for scabies, and the staff could end up on another unit the next day.
State officials haven't said where the new cases of scabies originated and haven't confirmed if employees from 2 West were floated to 4 East during the infestation.
Friday morning, I had visited my father.
Turgeon says she's concerned for Dennis, whom she hasn't been able to hug.
When they have all these infection control experts in, a new medical director, nursing executives that are on staff, and how could this happen if you are taking all the precautions? No visitors inside, changing the rooms, doing a refresh project. How did this happen?
According to Turgeon, Dennis Thresher is soon to turn 90 and has struggled with pneumonia. She says he spent 6 days on Bay State's COVID-19 unit where he tested negative but had a fever and lost 30 pounds.
This is just another thing I don't need him to get.
Now, state officials say that they are offering treatment to any and every staff member who feels they may have come into contact with the scabies. Live in Holyoke, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you for that live report. Here's a quick look at today's numbers of COVID-19 cases. So far, the state reporting 143 new cases with a total number of 106,271 in the Bay State. There were also 11 more deaths to report today. The statewide death toll now stands at 8,163. As many states around the country report a resurgence of COVID-19 cases, Bay State Health reports numbers here in Western Mass continue to remain low. However, as the fall approaches and the CDC warns of a possible bleak winter ahead, Bay State says plans are in place to handle what may come. Beth Ward digging deeper for us, and she joins us now live from home with what they're working on. Beth.
Well, Chris, the number of COVID-19 cases at Bay State Medical Center and Bay State Health in general remain pretty encouraging at this time. Now, however, we are told that there are designated committees that are working diligently now in case those numbers change in the future.
As many states like Florida, Texas, Arizona, and California report a surge in COVID-19 cases, a different story at Bay State Health. This graph, shared with us exclusively by Baystate, shows the progression of cases from March 16th to now, with a high in mid-April of 180 hospitalized shown by that red line, and just over 40 in the ICU reflected by the blue line. Today, there are 13 in the hospital, 1 in ICU.
We're always ready. We're always thinking about what's going to happen, and we're preparing for any possibilities.
Baystate infectious disease Dr. Armando Paez says because of the low numbers right now, there is no longer a designated COVID-19 floor. But he says they are ready if that changes.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We are ready to start preparing for this, lining up all our docs in terms of, what to do and what are the things that we can do now, to prevent it from happening and to prepare how to address to prepare us to address if ever there's going to be another surge.
He tells Western Mass News there are strategic committees designated within Baystate Health who meet regularly to go over the latest data and every possible scenario.
There's always a surge planning committee, looking into this. There's always a plan A, plan B, plan C, So if it's needed that there's a wing dedicated for COVID, they will do that, just like what they did before.
Staffing is also a consideration should numbers rise.
There is, somebody or a committee in charge of this, in terms of addressing the workforce that's needed to take care of those patients.
Governor Charlie Baker today applauding residents for keeping up with social distance guidelines to keep numbers down statewide. Both he and doctors at Baystate saying the data continues to show wearing masks is critical to preventing a resurgence.
Well, the latest numbers also show that an additional 18 patients within Baystate Health are now under investigation for suspicion of having COVID-19. That is on top of the graph that we just showed you. However, the number overall is down significantly since April. Reporting live from home, Beth Ward, Western Mass News. Back to you.
All right, Beth, thank you for that live report. And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it continues to develop, log on to our free Western Mass News streaming app. A march on Springfield City Hall bringing together mothers who've lost children to gun violence or gone missing in recent years. The group is called MORE, M-O-R-E. It stands for Mothers Overlooked Reaching Out Empowerment. They're calling for action tonight. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us live outside City Hall with those details. Leon.
Chris, these moms are so grieving the loss of their children. Moms like Juanita Batchelor want justice to be served and to make Springfield a safer place to live.
I lost my son, Daryl Jenkins Jr., to gun violence. He was shot in front of my home in 2014. And his murder is still not solved.
A mom asking for change and justice when it comes to the court system, crime, and repeated violent offenders. She and other mothers on a mission on Thursday as they march from the Springfield Police Station down to City Hall.
No justice, no peace.
Springfield police tell Western Mass News they tried to get to the bottom of every homicide.
I'll let them know that our homicide unit, our detectives, work all their cases diligently. They are there. They're actually meeting with this group of mothers next week.
Springfield Police Department Public Information Officer Ryan Walsh says a big reason why justice has yet to be served for sons like Daryl Jenkins Jr. is because witnesses have not come forward.
Our homicide unit does an incredible job. They know the circumstances involving all of these deaths. They know the players involved as well. The thing that they deal with is a lack of cooperating witnesses. They need witnesses to not only tell their story, but also be willing to testify in court.
Springfield Mayor Dominic Sano says he continues to push for a change in state law where if we the people do not agree with the prosecution of a repeat violent offender, that it can be taken to a higher court.
If they don't like what they get, whether say it's in district court, bail or bail restrictions, they can kick it up to Superior Court. If they don't like it in Superior Court, they can kick it up to a single justice of the state Supreme Court. We, the people, have no such opportunity. I'm just asking for an even playing field.
Juanita Batchelor wants to meet with city officials to make Springfield safe so another mom does not have to go through what she did.
Everyone would be able to sit down, community, police and the mayor to sit down and come up with a good solution to make Springfield a safer place to live in.
The Springfield Police Department tells Western Mass News so far this year they took 70 illegal guns during arrests, more than 20 of them with large capacity. Live in Springfield, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
Leon, thank you for that. New at 6, Springfield will be opening up cooling centers throughout the city to help battle this weekend's impending heat wave. The centers will be open from this Saturday through Monday. All the centers will open at noon and then close at 6. And due to the pandemic, each center will only be able to accommodate a maximum of 25 people at a time. City officials tell us tonight that the locations and number of cooling centers have changed from previous summers. The Mason Square Library, the Kennefic Park Fitness Center, and the Forest Park Conference Room will be open for those looking to beat the heat this weekend, as will Myrtle Park at the Indian Orchard Citizens Council, the Clodo Concepcion Center, and the South End Community Center. And for more on this weekend's scorching weather, we turn to the expert first warning meteorologist Jacob Wycoff at home now with a look at this isn't our first heat wave of the season, is it, Jacob? Be our second?
No, it's not. In fact, yeah, it would be our second as we head into the weekend and into next week. We've had 6 90-degree days thus far this year. It wouldn't surprise me if this heat that's building in doubles the number of 90-degree days for the season. We'll look at that with the 7-day forecast in just a little bit, but you can see on our Springfield Skycam that we do have the cloudy skies that are in place, a couple of rays of sunshine sneaking through the clouds, but we'll call it generally overcast for most of us. Our temperatures are in the middle 70s for Springfield, Northampton, Greenfield, you're at 77, low 70s for Worthington and Blandford, Charlemont, you're at 71, and the all-important dew point number still in the 50s. We're going to see this hiking back up heading into the weekend. So that makes not only it hot, but also dangerously humid, so that heat index value approaching 100 degrees. You see on our satellite and radar the cloudy skies that are in place. There is a front off to our west pushing in our direction. The severe weather that's in western New York will stay out in western New York. We're just expecting some rain showers for tomorrow morning, maybe an isolated pop-up thunderstorm for the afternoon, but I think by and large, nothing severe. You see a couple of raindrops to start out Friday morning, same story into the later morning, into the midday, and finally a couple of showers, maybe a storm to end the day before we clear out with some sunshine for your Saturday. Overnight falling into the middle 60s with some morning showers possible. And tomorrow, some afternoon, evening showers, maybe a thunderstorm near 80 degrees. We'll call it upper 70s for most of us. We're partly to mostly cloudy for much of the day as well.